We'll take you now live to the Alisa Hotel. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is addressing recent happenings in the banking sector.
It has become apparent that has occurred. I mean, I think it's easy to generalize and talk about the bank failure or bank restructuring, etc. But the heart of the matter is that it's really plain thievery on the citizens by certain bank shareholders and directors, also of a clear compromise of the regulatory leadership on a scale that has not happened before in our country's history. Bank shareholders and directors were diverting depositors' money for personal gain, and that there were no checks and balances in how inter-party transactions were done, and bank directors and shareholders could lend other people's money to themselves without any process. And other times, people will show money as evidence to set up banks and turn around to take those same deposits, leaving the banks with little or no working capital. So we have destroyed quite a bit. And what are we trying to fix? So the total size of Ghana's financial sector grew from 22 billion in 2010, which was 48% of GDP, to 160 billion, 77.8% of GDP by 2017. Of these, deposit money banks and non-bank financial institutions are dominant, of assets of about 110 billion, and this accounted for about 68% of the total assets of the financial services sector and 53.4% of GDP. Pension funds had increased from 21 billion in assets, which was about 10% of GDP, to now about 13% of GDP. The fund management sector, excluding pensions, had assets of about 24 billion, and it's moved to...
Take you back to the Botu Hall of the Swiss Spirit Alisa Hotel, the Dankwa Institute Forum on the banking sector.
So that the financial industry will continue to be safer, stable, more secure, and to be much stronger after this cleanup. Certainly, there are going to be some victims, very unfortunately. But when you look at 50,000 jobs and change, and then the jobs that we might lose in this, find ways of retraining and reintegrating them into the industry. But I think it's, beyond all of that is happening. You can see a very methodical way at which we have also come to this. The Bank of Ghana, as you know, has recently issued final guidelines on corporate governance for banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions, are part of measures to require financial institutions to adopt a sort of sound corporate governance principles and best practices. The Bank of Ghana also recently established a new office called the Office of Ethics and Internal Investigation to strengthen good governance within the bank and to promote the highest standards of ethical conduct commensurate with the bank's mandate. We at the Ministry of Finance are sending, sort of a formal letter to BOG, really to look into their own internal processes, and therefore culpable people who participated in this should really be brought to book within the Bank of Ghana that we are looking at. Furthermore, the Bank of Ghana also hopes to apply Basel II and III capital framework effective from January 2019. The application of these standards will certainly yield effective participation in strengthening important aspects in the area of good governance in banks. Credit rating is going to be key. The deposit protection law is also going to be key. So at the end, and as much as possible, our duty is to ensure that no depositor loses out. We are determined at Ministry of Finance to give all of the support required to build a robust Ghanaian banking framework. The goal is to turn Ghana into the regional financial services hub, and I think with this cleanup, it puts us on course to be able to do that. These are very difficult times because you and I would know someone who may be impacted or affected in that. But I think we all really need to look at the Republic as we talk about this. We need your support and prayers of every Ghanaian. Communicators must be measured in their words. This clearly should not be about witch hunting, but about cleaning the system. There's no need to create panic in the economy. We have it under control. We are confident that we'll be able to emerge out of this much stronger and more robust sense of financial services in this country. The law, of course, must take its due course, but our interest fundamentally protect these jobs, protect depositors, and the most important pillar of the economy, the financial industry. We cannot let it go. So fellow citizens, may God richly bless all of us, our whole Ghana, make us great and strong as we try to keep, to be each other's keeper in the days and weeks and months ahead. Thank you so much for this, and rest assured that we will stay awake until all is done. Thank you.
Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, thank you very much. Please help him with another round of applause.